What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Idiots Rolling Dice. We are back after our little vacation. Hope everybody had a happy and safe 4th and had a happy and safe just time, away in the summer, enjoying this fucking amazing heat wave we have going on right now. I am Mimic the Idiot. I am your Dungeon Master. And I am joined, as we are here in the epic Night 3, by some very special people. Starting first with Miss Daisy Cakes. You're first in the order.
I know. Hi, everybody. I'm Daisy. I am. Oh man, what? I don't even know. Talia's an enigma. We're still trying to figure out some of the things, but I've been on my own for a very long time. I am trying to kind of work through some trauma while I'm starting to handle this new adventure that I've taken on myself. I can't believe I got into this. This is why I don't go around people ever.
Next up, Mr. Play the Fool.
Hello. I'm Play the Fool. I'm playing Demetrius Longwing, dragonborn wizard. Kind of outcast from his family when he decided to become a self-taught wizard. When the whole war broke out, they decided they were going to go fight because that's what dragonborn do. Except for Demetrius, who decided to learn magic and be a wizard and not smash people over the head with a hammer.
Hell yeah. We appreciate you living your best life, Demetrius. Last not least, Mr. Vex. Welcome back.
What's poppin'? I play Jax. A very how do you call him? A very I don't even fucking know at this point. I've kind of forgot.
He's a brutish former soldier now trying to find his way back in the world post-war.
That's what I was looking for.
Only to find the war is not over yet.
Oh my.
Thank you for being smart sometimes, Mook.
I got
Actually,
you,
sometimes
baby.
all the time.
Most of the time.
Unfortunately, Jimmy is unable to play with us tonight. Had to cover a shift at work. But we will progress on or get back to the story. Happily, I couldn't wait when I was on vacation. All I was thinking about was getting back and playing D&D with my friends. So I'm glad we're here. But last time, since we probably all need a refresher, our heroes investigated a mysterious temple which served as a base for some eclipse remnant forces. As they made their way towards it, an important-looking convoy departed, and thanks to some keen ears, our party discovered that they were headed for Athens. Our group sought more information about the encampment, which was this temple fenced off with guard towers around it, and Demetrius deftly snuck all the way up to the fence line unseen. However, his curiosity got the better of him, and he was spotted, and arrows began to rain down upon him, and the party was thrust into combat. In the commotion, a few capable prisoners were able to escape and fight, while the mysterious chanting and sounds of screaming and fires came from inside the temple. Unfortunately, the guards put up quite the resistance, and by the time the party made it inside, the scene was a nightmare. 4 bodies, including one of a child, had been burned alive by a maniacal hooded figure. One of the escaped prisoners threw the hooded figure into the fire pit in order to ensure that they suffered the same fate, and Jax, who identified the child and one of the other victims as his friend Artisan Misa's wife and son, by the evidence and the fact that, it was a baby's body. Information and letters left around the temple confirmed that the one group was headed to Athens, and more Eclipse Remnant activity was going on in Boeotia, one region over. The crew then burned the temple and camp to the ground and began the long and defeated trek back to the village. Just before we get started here, a little information. Our party has all leveled up over the course of after the last combat, and there's a couple mechanics I'd like to introduce special to this campaign. So different from Utopia, we're going to probably rely a lot more on short rests. You guys aren't going to get like a long rest after every combat. It's going to be more tough. However, because you guys have spell slots, and spell slots are important, and don't want you to leave you guys hanging, there is a mechanic that I'm calling the Divine Rest. So you can channel with your god or just meditate with your inner self. And during a short rest, I will let you trade a hit dice to regain 1d4 plus your spellcasting modifier spell slots. We'll adjust that if we need to, if it's overpowered, with the trade-off being you have less dice to heal after combats. There's also like holy favor, so if you do things in accordance with like the gods that doesn't necessarily have to be like the main god you praise. If you do stuff that benefits a god or earns their favor, you might get rewarded for it. Also, the Twitch chat on my stream can interact and use channel points to grant players or NPCs advantage or disadvantage on attack rolls and saving throws.
Yeah.
And we'll expand probably that as I come up with more ideas. But yeah, so at this point, it's probably been several hours since you guys left the temple, the encampment. You have these 2 wagons and 2 horses pulling each wagon. One is filled with the corpses of the dead you were able to recover, and the other is packed full of the 7 prisoners you were able to save. The 2 soldiers who were among the kidnapped took 2 more horses from the compound. And with the horses, it's a little less than a day back to Hali. There's obviously the 2 soldiers who were breaking out. There's the woman who was stabbing people, and a bunch of other prisoners. 2 carts. Who thinks they're kind of where? Is somebody piling the cart of the dead? Somebody driving back the cart of the living?
Jax is probably driving the cart with the dead in it.
Okay. We'll put Jade in there with you, as he was with you guys. Just sitting. Both of you guys have been around death for a long time. Jax, you've obviously seen hundreds and hundreds of friends die over the course of the 7 years you were in war. But make an insight or history check for me as you're kind of rolling back here.
Our new dice don't fail me. It failed me. Insight. I got a +2 to that, so 13.
13. Realistically, you're very stricken with grief. Although you've been around death for a long time, this is when you were in the war with Artisan. All he was talking about was getting back home to his wife and kid. But as you're kind of mulling over just the scene of what you saw inside the temple, the people being burned alive, you never once saw the eclipse perform a ritual or a sacrifice like that during the entirety of the 7 years. You never discovered any remnants of that. So this, while grief-stricken, this is something new and different. Although it's the same group, this is a different ritual. And Jade's just kind of sitting with you, kind of comforting you, it's okay, man. It's all right. We did our best. You guys are riding back to Hali. That would put Talia and Demetrius in the other wagon. You have a whole bunch of people alive and just so grateful that you saved them from the same fate of the victims in the other wagon. What are you guys kind of thinking and feeling as you're sitting here?
Anger. Jax is pissed.
I'm pretty horrified. I had a bad feeling. We tried to get in there, and we weren't fast enough. And that's it's a little hard for me to handle. Haven't really been thinking too much about other people around because I'm not really around anybody, but I don't know. I'm just trying to process it, I guess. I would be just kind of looking down and just very quiet, sitting kind of like in the side.
Demetrius, what about you?
I pretty much just the same as Talia, kind of in shock at what was going on very near where he would call home, and kind of amazed at himself that he was able to help save the people.
From the back of the cart, the woman who was like had broken out and was fighting, she was like tending to people in the back. She kind of comes up to the front like of this wagon and puts like a hand on both your shoulders, and she just says, "Thank both of you and your friends over there for getting us out. If you guys hadn't come, I don't know. I think we all would have died. So thank you guys so much."
Just glad we were there on time for somebody, and now we can get you guys home to your families.
Well, she kind of looks dejected. They say that, my husband was burned yesterday, so I guess I don't have much to go back to. But still, I am alive, and that is in no small part because of you. She introduced herself as Katerina throughout, like, the entire process.
Mm-hmm.
And she asks, "What were you guys doing out there? How'd you find us?"
We were trying just to check it out, and we started hearing screaming and chanting. And, well, I mean, you were there for most of it, but I'm just kind of, like, looking around and very uncomfortably, like, kind of twiddling my hands while I'm trying to figure out what I want to say.
Well, I thank the gods that you guys were there. It, if you guys hadn't found us, it would have been much, much worse. She kind of looks back at the wagon full of people. Alongside the other wagon, one of these, like, former soldiers rides up next to Jax, who is driving. His name is Karen, but it's manly. He rides up,
Karen. It's Karen.
and he rides up on a horse because the two soldiers have kind of been like scouting around on separate horses. He rides up next to Jax and says, "Battalion Leader Karn says, thank you for coming."
We did the best we could.
Yes, there's so many of them, and you saved a lot of people today. You know that.
Not everyone.
He kind of looks back at the wagon that you're driving. Says, I know, Jax. But still, your leadership, your ability, it helped, and I think you stopped something worse happening. We'd overheard after we looked at some of their letters and stuff. Apparently, they were planning an attack on the village, which they can't do now. So, thank you for stopping that. My family is going to be safe because of you. So,
I kind of just give him a nod.
he rides on ahead. Are you guys doing anything while you're in the carts? Are you, Demetrius, now that you have more time, are you looking over some of, like, because I assume when you saw all, like, the necromantic and magical information, that you kind of took it with you?
Yes.
So, like, if you want to look over that, you can. Talia, you have, like, druidic magic. You can probably tend to some people. You can go fetch some herbs or anything if you want to, like, try and heal people in the back. Yeah, there's, I mean, things you guys can do while you're riding back to the village.
Nothing happened to
And
me.
Demetrius is studying
See
the stuff that
Hear
was
anybody.
that he took from the altar and everything.
Go ahead and make an Arcana check.
Oh,
Nat
let's
20.
go.
Nat 20. So, Demetrius, now that you have more time with these, like, letters and these... Daisy, can you hear and see us?
Now I can, yes.
No? Okay. Okay.
Good.
So, Demetrius, now that you have more time with these letters and these notes on stuff, you begin to pull some of your own books out of your bag and start to compare magics and other things. And you find, actually, the oldest book in your collection, which is a book on Titans and, like, the origin of the gods themselves. And you notice that, like, some of these sacrifices seem to be connected to, like, some form of worship of Titans rather than, like, your classic Olympian or Sithonic gods. And as you look further on the page of the instructions of the binding ritual, those pages, you see that there is a faded ink written on top of the pages. And also, as you're scrolling through the notebook, you notice that pages are missing. A couple pages are missing.
Like it's writing on top of writing, basically.
With your nat 20, I'll just tell you, it seems like some form of invisible ink.
Ah.
You're like flipping through and you like kind of breathe out like hot air, actually, and that seems to like make the ink kind of come through just for a second, but not fully enough for you to read it.
So we need heat to get this to work.
Okay. So that's what you see. Anybody else doing anything?
I think Jax is just kind of searching his memory to see if he's ever seen something like that.
Go ahead and make a history check with advantage, because this is recalling recent memory.
That is so stupid. I rolled 2 16s.
That's not stupid. Those are very good rolls.
I know, but I'm just saying. It's plus 5, so what, 21?
21? Yeah, 21. While you were, like I was saying earlier, while you were in the war, as you're like searching back, like recalling your memory, while you were in the war, you didn't see, it's not like the eclipse never, like, when they captured people, they would like sacrifice them, but it was more of like a showy thing, right? It seems like what their goals were during the war are different than what they're trying to do now. This seems to be like a whole separate, like a plan B almost, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think he's more just like kind of like searching to see if he remembers anything this cruel they did.
I mean,
Kind of like thinking like maybe someone else is leading them now.
they did plenty of brutal stuff in the war. I mean, they would like desecrate bodies so they couldn't be burned and like find peace in hell and all that. But this is different. You do know there was like the important looking convoy that left, which was like one person in like very fancy robes and 4 like very sturdy looking protector people. You do not recollect having seen any of them in the war. They were all like covered in hoods and stuff, but you think you would have noticed some people like that, kind of either fancy and out of place in a war setting, or like strong and burly, right?
Okay. Yeah.
So you don't recognize that group that left. You don't know if maybe they were just in a different part of the battlefield than you, or if they're someone new. But whatever this is seems to be different than whatever was before.
Like after searching his memory, I think he just kind of starts praying to Ares, saying guide to help guide these souls.
Make a religion check for me.
16.
16. What are you saying to Ares?
Pretty much just like, I know this ain't really your domain and helping people pass. You're more of kind of like the war person, but if you could help, who is it? Oh my god, who's the fucking
Hades.
god of? Well, no, the one who delivers.
Well, Hermes
He doesn't really deliver the dead.
Hermes
but...
delivers the dead to Charon, then Charon ferries them to
Okay.
Hades for judgment.
Well, so yeah, praying to like him to help him guide their souls.
As you pray to Ares, you hear next to you, "You're right. Guiding the dead's not really my thing." As you turn next to you, you see in the place where Jade was sitting, a very like strong cut. He's sitting down, but you can tell he'd be like 8 feet tall in person. Has like a tight crew cut head, and like stubbly beard, but not like fully grown out. Olive skin with like war paint on his eyes, but he's not in like his armor. This isn't the first time you've seen Ares, because Ares is usually like on the Spirit of Battle. He's in like this strong brass armor with like a maul and a shield that shoots chains out of it. He's just in like a toga right now, and he appears to be sitting kind of like above the platform, almost like he's sitting down someplace else, but like also here as well. And he pats you on the back. He's like, "Hey Jax, how you doing?"
Not too good. Not too good.
He looks behind him and he's like, "So, they're back, I see."
Yeah.
Huh.
I'm
Well,
gonna kill all of them.
hell yeah, buddy. Hell yeah. He like looks off ahead of him, almost like he's talking to somebody else. And he just says, "Look, I'll be back in a couple minutes." He like seems to regard what somebody else is saying. He's like, "I know you can take care of yourself for that long. Just wait a couple minutes." And he like smiles and chuckles, turns back to you and says, "Look, I'll put in a good word to Hermes. It'll take just as long as these bodies are, finally disposed of properly. Hermes will take care of it. Hades will judge them fairly." Oh, yeah. What's up, man?
Thank you.
Of course, dude. You're one of my favorite champions, Jax. I wouldn't just leave you out in the dust on this.
I know, but I know how you can be sometimes,
That's right. But man, your spirit, Jax, you're a good one, man. You're a good one for me.
Well, thank you. I'm just gonna sit in silence now and reflect on the life of my good friend.
You don't have any other questions or anything to ask me? I don't come down for everyone,
Yeah, but you're my bro.
He like looks off to the side. He's like, he like gives you a little nudge, and you like feel it. It hurts because he's like so strong. He's like, "Yeah. Plus, I got to get back to someone." "All right, man."
Oh.
All right.
He like gives you a little nod and apparates away.
I still don't understand how to talk to him all these years.
Jade's just like, "Talk to who?"
Nothing at all.
So you guys can like ride through the night to get back to Hali, or set up camp with these people. Kind of up to you. With like the 2 soldiers patrolling around, you're not going to be like in danger of any wild encounters. Plus, you have a big group, and animals tend to just avoid people for the most part. So it's up to you guys whether you want to set up camp for the night or just keep riding.
I think we should just ride throughout the night. We can get rest once we're back in town.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Sounds good to me.
All right. So you guys ride through the night. Different people take turns like holding the reins. People kind of cycle through, and it's a village. It's like a very blue collar village, so people have driven a horse and cart before. The sun begins to rise, or behind you, because you guys are heading east right now. You guys are heading west right now. So the sun begins to rise behind you. Through, like, you're coming over this hill, cresting down into the village. You see, like, just the early morning sun reflect this beautiful orange off the sea in the bay, and you see the shadows of the outskirts of Hali begin to come into view. It's early morning, 6:30 a.m., and you guys begin to get close to the village. You hear, like, as you get closer, a few, morning sounds of, like, the marina bell and boats cracking, people talking, and as you get closer, you begin to see people, like, gather on the outskirts of the village, looking at these carts that are coming in, and as you get closer and closer, more and more people are gathered here to see you at the edge of Hali. You guys come up to the village, and they see the soldiers riding on the horses. They see Jax and ride back, and then people, like, begin to poke their heads out of the wagon of all the freed prisoners. Cheers erupt in the village as in total 10 prisoners have been returned alive to the village, and 15 bad guys are dead, so that's really good. People are all around, kind of gathering to this early morning sight. People are, like, walking out of their houses, kind of blurry-eyed and stumbling, waking up to the commotion of this early morning encounter. Jax, go ahead and make a perception check for me.
13.
13. So you're noticing all these people happy to see people back. You're also noticing, like, folks who are, devastated that people who disappeared from the village have not returned. Coming out of a house, walking down the street, using his spear as kind of like a cane. You see Artisan Misa, and he makes eye contact with you.
Kind of just shake my head.
When he saw you, he had, like, a hopeful smile on his face. As you shake your head and start unloading the rescued people, his smile quickly fades to what you can understand after being with him for so long is a sense of, like, understanding, but you can see he's fighting back tears and, like, using every ounce of strength he has to keep himself upright in this moment.
I kind of walk over and put a hand on his shoulder. I just go, let it out.
He breathes in heavily and just asks silently, Did you recover the bodies?
Kind of nod my head and then kind of lead him over to the cart.
He follows you. Jade is there comforting him as well as the other soldiers who, after spending some time greeting their families, are... Artisan is, like, the best guy. He was, like, the best brigadier. He was, like, the best general. Everybody loved him. So they all come over to comfort him as well as he looks in the back of the wagon and sees the burned corpses. Tears begin to roll down his face, but he doesn't, like, cry. He just kind of says, he looks to the ground and says, "May Hades judge them fairly." He asks the other soldiers and, like, some of the people around, he's like, "Will you please take them out to the out to the woods. I'll be there soon. And a couple people grab the bodies out and begin to take them to where you know to be like a kind of funeral site where bodies are burned and people are laid to rest. He turns to you with what was sadness, turns to like a fiery determination. He says, "Tell me everything you know."
Kind of give him the quick story.
Quick story. Eclipse is back. Some very important person is heading to Athens. Do Talia and Demetrius come over to like Jax? Is he doing this, or are you kind of just giving him a wide berth?
I mean, I was trying to just give him space. I mean, I'm already bad in not awkward situations, so this one's kind of an awkward situation.
Yeah, Demetrius is just kind of hanging back. He's got his hood up so that not many people can notice that he's a dragonborn. Kind of trying to hide.
Our artisan is talking to Jax. He's like, Athens, okay. I will send someone for King Theseus, arrange a meeting, and I will ride with you to Athens. But after that, Jax, I don't know if I can look you in the eye again. I'm not blaming you, but I'm going to be honest. Every time I see you, I'm going to have the image of you riding back with the body of my wife and child. I'm sorry, brother. He like puts a hand on your shoulder, and then he follows the soldiers, limping with his spear, heading out to the spot you guys know to be the burial ground. So yeah, you guys have returned to Hali. You are all, even though you're a dragon born Demetrius, you're all being welcomed, like proudly and happily back into the village. You guys doing anything while you're here?
I'm just gonna go back to my house real quick.
All right.
And sorry, go ahead.
No, you go ahead. Tell me what you want to do.
I was gonna go back to my house and just grab the rest of my stuff because I'll be skipping town.
What does Jax remember about his father?
Honestly, not much. Since he left so young, I would say the only thing he really remembers is his father being kind of a drunken.
Okay.
Because if I remember correctly, I said his wife left or died. I don't remember.
I think you said she died.
Yeah, I think she died in. It's right. She died in childbirth.
Yeah.
So like he never beat Jax, but he was more just like kind of blames him.
All right. So Jax, you walk into your home, and you see a man face down on the table. There's like empty bottles of wine on the table as well. Yeah.
Is he sitting on the stool?
He's like on a stool,
Okay.
like leaning over the table asleep.
I kick the
basically.
stool out.
So you kick the stool out. He bonks. He's like, "Oh, fuck! What do? What the hell? Fuck! 80s, damn you! What?" And he like kind of looks up and gathers himself. I'm just gonna roll a. He like grabs a bottle and like starts swinging at you. His like eyes are clearly kind of glazed over. He's swinging at you wildly. He's like, "Get the fuck out of my house! Fuck you!"
Headbutt him.
Make an attack roll.
Yeah, 18. What's my unarmed? +3?
Plus your strength modifier. So, okay. Your strength
Yeah,
modifier.
+3.
So it's your strength modifier is 3. So you headbutt him and you deal 4 damage to him, just straight up, and like knock him back. He's like, "What? I didn't do anything. Leave
Shut
me
up,
alone.
old man.
Fuck you." He throws the bottle at you and just sails over your head and shatters. What do you want?
for not to have a useless old flirt.
Look, my son will be home any minute and he'll kick your ass.
I am your son.
What? And he kind of like rubs his eyes a little bit. He's like, Jax? You can, I mean, just notice for your father, he is worse for the wear since you left him. He was still like, while like the drinking had taken a toll on him, he's like a fisherman too, so he lives a hard life. He was still like, he had like brown hair still when you left. Now it's like full gray, bags under his eyes, his skin is like loosely hanging off his body. He's, you know, he'd only be about like 50 at the most, but he looks like he's decrepit and ancient at this point.
Just kind of walk past and start gathering my stuff.
When'd you get back?
What, you only got back like a couple days ago, right?
Yeah, like 2 days ago.
I got back 2 days ago. You were at the docks when we came back.
Oh.
Been gone for how many years?
7, right? 7.
Yes, 7.
Yeah. It's good to see you. I'm glad you're back.
You can fuck off.
Okay. Don't. He like stands up and gathers himself a little bit more. It's like, don't put that on me, Jax. Don't put that
on you.
Yeah.
You blamed me for Mother's death.
Look, it was a really hard time for me. It's been a really hard, since you were born, has been a really hard time. I'm not gonna deny it. Okay? He's like, he like runs over to a pot and like pours himself a big, like, he just like drinks water out of a little like vase or container or whatever. Look, I'm not sitting here and saying I was the best dad. I obviously wasn't. That's fact. But like, I did raise you, and now you're a good soldier, apparently. That's what I heard. People who came back.
Raised me? You barely even did anything for me.
And kept a roof over your head.
That was the only thing you were good at. The other thing was you're good at is fucking passing out on a fucking pile of shit.
I mean, what do you want me to say, Jax? You're the one who came in here and kicked my fucking stool out and woke me up.
Because this is our last goodbye. I'm skipping town.
I'm not surprised. Look, I know I didn't do the best.
It's kind of too late for apologies.
Did I fucking say sorry, you little brat?
Sounds like you were about to.
Well, I didn't. And your attitude makes you not deserve one. I loved your mother more than anything. And every time I saw you, I saw her screaming out in pain and the life fading from her body. And it was tough for me, Jax. It was tough. And you did not fucking make it any easier. Okay? I tried to love you the best I could. But you were a rebel since you were 2. Right? Every step of the way, you fought me. And I admit I deserve a lot of it. But you, I'm good. Maybe it's for the best. It probably is for the best that you ran off. It's probably for the best that you're running off again.
Yeah, because I'll be just like you if I grew up here.
Honest man. With a job, kept his family sheltered and fed.
I sacrificed my life more than enough times to know that you're not a real man. You're a sorry excuse for a human.
You're pathetic. You still haven't figured, even all that fighting, all that maturing you were supposed to do, you still haven't figured out what it means to be a real man. And you never will. He kind of just walks back into the house. Says,
I get the rest of my bag and leave.
you didn't grow up at fucking all.
I just shut the door.
And you leave your house. Talia and Demetrius, you guys doing anything in the village?
I don't really like talking to people. Talking to these guys was kind of a lot different than what I'm used to. So I don't know. I mean, if you, I'm pointing, like looking at Demetrius, like if there's something you want to do, I mean, like I'll go with you. Preferably
Demetrius,
not around a lot of people.
this is my first time in this village in my real form. I usually disguise myself when I come by here.
I mean, you don't have to, though. Technically, we're heroes, and at least for now. Is there something you want to do?
Don't know what I can do. I guess well, we can look around and see what is what here. If there's any places to rest or shop or any of that sort of stuff.
Well, I mean, I don't know. We can go. Let's go and see if there's I don't know, some new, we have these crazy looking cloaks. What else do I have on? Kind of just like looking through my bag, like trying to see.
So you have your normal traveler's stuff that you can't carry with you. You have like a bedroll. You have like herbs and stuff that you've learned both from like being like doing druid stuff with the daughters of Demeter, and then just being like out on your own and learning to survive from your father. So you have your weapons. You have like some spellcasting stuff that you use, and then just the things you guys took from the temple, which would be like the robes, the letters, and like booklet of stuff. As you guys are kind of walking around town, though, but make perception checks.
30-20.
5.
So Demetrius, you're just kind of like this is like you said, the first time in this village. You have given it a wide berth for the most part throughout the entire time, and you're just kind of blown away. People are not like, word has traveled fast, and people, while maybe kind of giving you a wide berth or like doing a double take, are not like outwardly being like rude or shit to you. They seem like, while they're still a little uncomfortable with your presence, they are like accepting of it and like regard you as somebody who just helped out a lot. As Talia, though, as you're kind of walking through the city, you'd been here to like trade some stuff the day before, like just in and out, not really paying attention to anything. You went to the market real quick, bartered a few things, got some meats and stuff, and then headed out. You see Jade talking to like a couple goblins and a couple like orcish looking figures over by what appears to be like a military outpost thing.
All right. Well, I mean, we can go talk to Jade. See what's going on. I mean, like I said, I don't come through here that often. I just come for things that I, can't get where I am. And like I said, we get to walk around a little bit and enjoy being the center of attention. And kind of just like start walking towards that way.
So you pass like a little taverna while you're there, a tavern basically. And you head up to this, what appears to be like this barracks thing. Jade is talking to this little goblin, these two orcs, and you hear the goblin say something about, it was like, yeah, there's like a commune of like non-humans organizing in Boeotia, apparently, like living life free and together outside of Greek rule. I guess like one of the governors or something like gave us a spot to set up, so Boris, Loris, and I are gonna head out that way. See what's up, you should come. And Jade seems to be like mulling it over, like, I don't know. And that's what you guys overhear, and the goblin regards you, especially Demetrius. It's like, hey man, what's up?
Just wandering the village, looking around, seeing what I can see.
Yeah, well, there's a little tavern. I don't know if they'll let you in, but maybe you're like one of the people that helped rescue all the folks, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so maybe they'll let you in for one drink. You could probably stay here in the barracks. I'm sure they'd let you do that overnight if you guys need a place to sleep. I'm Smacky, and I'm probably gonna dip town tonight, so.
We could definitely use a place to rest.
Smacky, the little goblin's like, where are you guys headed next?
Really not sure. Possibly Athens?
Jade kind of
Curious
like,
what was going on with that whole little group that was riding out of the fort.
Jade kind of like nods his head in agreement.
Jax walked by and starts getting a horse ready.
Yeah, so you guys see Jax walk by as well as you guys are talking to this group. Jax, you go ahead and make a perception check.
18 plus. That's persuasion. Where's my perception? Plus 4, so 22.
22. You are walking like up to your horse, because you had a horse during the war and you brought it back with you. You're walking up to your horse, and there's a note on the saddle. You open it and it says, meet me out by the ridge, which is like just outside of town, kind of overlooking the ocean.
Yeah. I kind of take the note, put it back in the saddle, and then start walking over to the ridge.
So you go up there, and this is the place where they like burn the bodies. It's like a beautiful place overlooking the town, the forest, and the sea. And you see Artisan is bending down, like kneeling, almost looks to be praying, as the bodies of his wife and son are being cremated.
Just put a hand on his shoulder as I walk up.
He says,
I tried to put in a good word for them.
Jax, I appreciate it. I've tried to do the same. And he kind of nods up to you. Says, you'll ride with me to Athens in the morning. You're not leaving yet. You don't get to just run away from this problem.
I wasn't gonna run away. I was going to Athens.
I'm going with you. You and I will meet Theseus. You'll tell him what you know. Your friends will join us and tell him what they know. And he will probably send the Athenian military to stop them, but my guess is you and I will probably each do our own thing to try and handle business, as they'd say.
I thought I was muted, my bad. I kind of like looked at him for a second. Go. After this is done, I'm not coming back to this town. I'm responsible, and I hold your family's life on my chest until the day I die.
Wow. I'm never coming back to this fucking place either. So, I guess that's one more thing we'll have in common, Jax. And he just kind of sits there as the remainder of the bodies turn to ash, and night kind of falls on the village. You guys go through the day of being like welcomed and stuff. There's not really like shops that have anything of value for like adventuring. There's like survival supplies, and like there's like rope, but this is a fishing village, so it's not like they're really set for traveling across the countryside. But if you guys wanted to, like, if you wanted to, or Demetrius, you wanted to look into like bringing heat out with the paper, or if you guys wanted to try and get a drink at the tavern, whatever.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna try to find a heat source to heat the paper enough to bring the ink out so I can read it without burning the paper.
Go ahead and make an intelligence check.
Intelligence.
And Talia, you're here too if you want to give him the help action.
17.
Right, so what do
So I would imagine Demetrius like mentioned to you while you guys were in the cart, like, hey, heat seems to bring out something secret on this paper. Maybe we can find something to, reflect heat. So I'd imagine you're like searching the little barracks area, trying to find something. So Demetrius, you can roll again for advantage.
$18.
Hey, one better. That was the difference.
All right.
Solving it or not. So Demetrius, as the sun, so Hali's on like the west end of this little peninsula, or the west end of like the right side of this little peninsula, or this little bay fucking thing. Hali's on the west end of the land you guys are on right now. So the sun is beginning to set, and you notice that there's a shield leaning up against the outside of the barracks that the sun is like blind. It has like a mirrored back, and the sun is shining like blinding light into. As you guys are looking around, kind of tossing stuff to the side, and as you kind of like walk over and like pick it up, you notice that the shield is very hot and it is reflecting the sun.
Oh, okay. Well, here. And I kind of just like put it down flat. Try putting it on this.
And I slowly move the page closer and closer to the mirror until, like, trying not to burn it.
Yeah,
but also trying to get the writing to come out.
So the sun reflects off the mirror onto the page, and as like the mixture of like the light being transparent through the page, and also the heat reflecting off, the hidden ink comes to the forefront, and it's in like a different shade, so it's clear and you can read it. And the hidden ink says, "We must open 12 of the gates. Hali is the location of one of the great battles with the Titans, locking away great power here. Through destruction of the village, the gate should be opened. The sun will set on man, and we will bask in the darkness of the Great One." Words continue, but the text fades into like the ripped pages that would have been next in the book.
This is bad. Yeah, it's bad. This is just bad.
Definitely sounds bad.
Wait, so oh man, we can't leave. Well, I mean, I don't know what we're gonna do.
Go ahead and make an insight check.
19.
You guys killed the fucking people who were going to attack this village. The little priest guy, the big group, or the group of the very fancy, strong-looking people left, and appeared to have left that last task of destroying Hali to the people who were in the encampment that you guys killed. through like scouting reports and stuff that you've heard, like being around these barracks, no other sightings of like eclipse remnant forces have been investigated around. So by killing everybody there and burning down the temple, you stopped what should have been the attack. With a 19 insight, though, and Demetrius kind of telling you what is written on the paper, one thing that stood out to you is we must open 12 of the gates, which would imply that there are more than 12.
Yep.
And Demetrius, it confirms, without any roll, it confirms that this is something to do with like Titanic magic and very ancient stuff. But
Jax probably comes back and kind of goes up to him and goes, "You guys are coming with me to Athens."
Okay.
We're gonna meet the king and all that jazz.
Okay.
Play something, or Demetrius, something you would know is that your family left to join, as you've been talking to this goblin and Jade, all of whom were part of this like Reclaimers project, which was something your family went to join, or went off to war to join, which is like, hey, if you serve in the army, you'll get like the right to purchase property and not be refused service and stuff. Your family didn't come back. And in Athens, they would have records of everything that probably went on with this Reclaimers project, and like just have troop logs and stuff. So you might be able to find some information there if you were looking for it. Also, the big dude who was in the center of all the people that leaving the encampment, you could just tell had some powerful magic energy on him, and if you can find him and track him down, that would be a great source of knowledge. Talia, something that sticks out to you is that the Daughters of Demeter would kidnap people when you were involved with the cult.
It's why I left.
And it just occurs to you that this is, if there's people kidnapping and disappearing and possibly being sacrificed, there might be some connection with whatever this Eclipse Remnant is doing and whatever the leaders of your group were doing. But you guys all kind of settle in for the night, get a rest, and you wake up next morning. Talia, go ahead and make a perception check for me.
15.
15. You see the woman who was like freed from the prison. As you're kind of taking like a morning walk around the village, you see the woman who was freed from the prison, like standing by the docks, like spinning a coin, like very dexterously between her fingers, and she makes eye contact with you.
Kind of just like nod and put my hand up awkwardly.
She chuckles while looking at you. Her like dexterous flipping the coin between her fingers continues. You're just gonna like walk past her, or are you gonna talk to her?
No, I don't know. I'm not good at just like starting a conversation. How are you feeling?
She just kind of sighs and is like, well, there's nothing left for me here. All the while flipping the coin between her fingers. There's really nothing left for me here at this point. So I was going to sail back home to Sparta and well, see if I can learn anything else about what's going on there, and maybe warn the Spartans that this isn't over.
Well, I mean, I know that we did seriously damage this group, and it doesn't seem like it's going to make its way back over there. But the fact that this is very well coordinated, and it's not just eclipse, and man, I don't know what it is that what it even is that they're trying to get control of or gain access to by doing these sacrifices.
Well, I don't know either. And she stops flicking the coin between her fingers and like flicks it to you. And she says, "But I'm happy I wasn't one of them. I guess I'll see you around. I have a boat to catch." And she begins walking off the dock towards a boat. And she just flicked you like a gold, basically.
Okay.
Pretty solid.
And I'm just kind of like looking at it interestingly and looking at her as I'm continuing to walk.
Yeah, she's I mean, held her own. Obviously has some sort of training with knives and stuff. But if she says she's from Sparta, even you would know Sparta's the warrior place. So everybody gets trained on how to be a warrior there. But that's where she's headed off to, and maybe you'll see her again. As the rest of you guys are going, Demetrius, you see Jax or Jade just talking to a couple soldiers and stuff around the outside of the barracks. And Jade mentions to you, he's like, he says, "I'll stay back a day or two, make sure the town is safe, and then I'll meet up with you guys in Athens."
Okay, I'll let everybody else know that.
All right. And Jax, as you kind of wake up in the morning, you see Artisan fully walking, dressed in his, fully armored in like the blue and gold of Athenian colors. He has a helmet with a large horizontal plume, and on one side of his massive white horse is a brilliant shield and spear, and on the other side appears to be like a survival pack. He has a sword attached to his right side. I mean, it's pretty standard Athenian loadout, but he is a master with stuff. So you guys all kind of convene towards like a stables area. There's like, you guys could take one of the carts if you wanted to, or you could each take an individual horse.
Jack's obviously taking his own horse because he's trained that thing since a very young age.
Okay.
We are bonded.
I don't mind riding a horse.
Okay. Demetrius?
I was going to say, with Demetrius's size and weight, it'd probably be better for him to ride a cart.
Well, you're not that heavy. You're not too heavy for a horse, I would say. How heavy are you think?
I forget what I put my weight as.
So I thought you were like a little slender for a...
Yeah, 299 pounds.
Oh, that's big. That's big. I mean, if you want to take a cart, yeah, feel free to take a cart.
We'll just get him a Clydesdale. But I mean, I think having a cart would be a good thing.
Okay. So, all right.
I'll ride in the cart then.
Okay.
It doesn't matter to me.
And I mean, there's two horses attached to the cart, so if something happens to the cart, you guys can each take two horses, and they're like big, sturdy horses. So,
Okay.
if something happens to Demetrius, you'd probably be able to ride one. But because of just your size, it might be not the most convenient thing.
Nicer to the horse.
What I was thinking.
Yeah. So yeah, you guys set off towards in the direction of Athens. Artisan is on his like brilliant white stallion. Jax, do you have any ideas for what your horse looks like?
Probably all black.
Nice.
With like a little tinge of gray on the hair on the back.
Okay, I dig it. So yeah, you have your horse that you're bonded to, and Talia and Demetrius hop in the cart. You guys kind of can throw like a lot of your camping supplies and stuff in the cart, and you head off towards Athens. The sun is still rising, shining in your faces, basically, as you head kind of southeast from the coastal village towards the shining metropolis of Greek culture. As you guys ride, everybody make a nature check. In Talia, you do this with advantage.
Oof. Oof. That's not too good. 13.
All right, so I got a 9 and a 13.
Okay.
21.
So plus 3, so 16.
16. Jax, you notice, like, there's a lot of animals around you, flying around. You've been through survival stuff before, so it's not, like, crazy. You notice that there's just birds kind of fucking around following you. Talia, your, like, experience in nature allows you to see this owl following you, and Demetrius, you clock this as well. You see an owl, like, staring down at you guys. Talia, you know through, like, your background with nature and stuff, this one is not typically found kind of in this area, and it's also a nocturnal creature, so it's strange that it's fucking around in the morning. Because this isn't when it hunts and stuff. Demetrius, you've kind of been around, you know what a lot of owls look like. And stuff. You see this owl, you don't have the same knowledge of nature that Talia does, but you do feel like it's kind of suspicious, and you also notice that Artisan kind of running ahead of you, he clocks the owl kind of deliberately and stares at it for a long time.
That's weird.
Now, that should not be out at this time.
It's not even normal for this region. I mean, you don't even see these guys towards you see these guys towards the forest, not the coastline.
Artisan kind of speaks up. He's like, hey, we have 2 days ahead of us. Let's go.
Okay.
Focus up.
I'm just still kind of staring at it.
You guys kind of continue. It's a relatively uneventful travel. This is, as you get closer and closer to Athens, things obviously get busier. It's the largest city in Greece at this point. The owl is still following you, but you guys pass, like, traders with, like, their own horse and carts, a few hunters who are, like, out hunting, or people, like, traveling between towns. And everybody go ahead and make a perception check.
6. Not great.
18.
18?
I'm sorry, you said perception?
Yeah, perception.
Okay. $16.
16. So Talia, you're still kind of got eyes on this owl. Demetrius and Jax, you guys notice, as, like, you guys have been riding for a long time, you notice some rustling in the bushes on, like, the side of the road. And Artisan actually stops and pulls out his spear. Kind of looks off into the forest, ready, kind of on edge, one hand on the horse reins, one hand with the spear. He, like, clicks his horse, goes a little bit closer to the woods, and just stops. And now Jax and Demetrius, you guys both see shadows moving in kind of the surrounding forests. As Artisan gets, like, just a little closer, before the horse rears up on its hind legs and whinnies real loud, and he begins galloping away, shouting, "Run! while bursting out of the woods behind him are two massive owl bears, so bears with fucking owl heads and like kind of like talon claws, as well as two smaller brown bears. Everybody roll initiative.
Fucking owl bears,
An
man.
owl. It's about
17.
18.
22.
It's about. Wait, no, we gotta come up with a better word for that one.
You said 17, Jax?
Yeah. They're actually called owl bears.
That's dumb.
You said 18, Dahlia?
Yes.
Yeah, so this combat, there's no map for this combat because there's like multiple ways to handle this. You have, the bears are all like behind you, and you kind of have sort of a jump on them. So you guys are all starting about like 10 to 15 feet, depending on your formation, ahead of where the bears are. And they're tough. I mean, they might fuck you up if you try and fight them. They might fuck up your horses. So you could try to run away, or you could just try to kill the bears. But that brings us to Demetrius. You actually start us off.
Do we run?
I'm thinking we're gonna try to book it,
Okay.
and I just take the reins and start whipping these horses until they just take off.
I will say this: the horses have their own movement. You like controlling them and directing them is an object interaction, but I will need actually, you don't even need to make an animal handling check because they're smart enough to know bears run. So you still have like the ability to take actions and stuff while you're here.
Shoot at one of them. Just distract it. I don't know.
Are we in the wagon on the back of the line?
So how I think this was Artisan was on like let's say the left side of the road, off looking at the forest. You guys were kind of in the middle, a little behind them, because the horses themselves, the individual horses, are just going to be a little faster than the wagon. So you were about, let's say, 15 feet away from where the bears are bursting out of the woods. Then Jax was like 5 to 10 feet on the other side of you guys. So as you whip the reins to crack the horses, the horses will be able to move 80 feet on your turn, I believe, or on their turn, which will be on your turn.
Okay.
But right now you're like directly even or parallel with the second owl bear and the second brown bear, because they came out in like a V formation. The two owl bears kind of bursting out in front, and the two brown bears like diagonally behind them. So yeah, you're about 20 feet from them right now, even with them, and your horses are going to book off straight after this.
Okay. So that would be Owlbear 1 would be the one that's closest to us?
Owlbear 2 would be the closest one to you.
Owlbear 2 would be closest to us. Okay. Hopefully this works. I'm going to cast Ray of Frost at it.
Okay.
8.
8 misses. The ray blasts into it, but it just shrugs it off with its like thick fur. Anything. That's probably it for you. Then on your turn, your horses gallop away 80 feet. Speed 40. So the first owlbear comes bursting out of the woods and is going to charge after Artisan, who was like kind of in a bad spot where he is. Now you see he's fully like, he's whipped off his shield and stuff and is like fighting from his horse. So is not like, does not appear to be an easy character to take down. But is going to be, is still tough as this bear is bearing down on him. Bear swings wildly on his first attack as he goes to like peck at it with his fucking beak, chasing after him, and fucking, I rolled a 2 and a 5. We're off to a great start.
Yay.
The second owlbear is going to sprint towards Jax, who is like kind of the farthest away, and while like aware of what was going on, not really looking in the same direction. Didn't get quite the same jump that everybody else did. 22 is going to hit you.
Oof.
As you take 9 damage on the first attack. But then he misses with it like lunges at you with its fucking beak and like pecks at your leg, like stabbing into you. But then like you start to pull away as it like swings at you with its stuff. Talia, that means you're next.
Which one's closest to us now? Because I was in the cart, so does that mean I'm 80 feet away now?
Yeah, so you're 80 feet away. The ones attacking both Jax and Artisan are going to be equidistant from you.
Okay, so I guess my only choice is to shoot with my arrow, so I'm gonna do that.
Okay.
So 19 plus 4 is 23.
Yeah, you're gonna hit. Are you going after the one attacking Jax or Artisan?
The one. I would say the one attacking Artisan, because he was the one that's in kind of like the most awkward looking position to get out of.
Okay.
So that was 9 damage.
Okay, that's 9 damage onto that guy. You lean over the cart, or stand up looking over the top of the cart, and just loose an arrow that thunks right into this bear's fur as it heads after you. Jax, that goes up to you. So your horse will move on your turn. Your horse has a speed of 40 feet, can dash for 80. If either you or your horse take a disengage action, you can disengage without an attack of opportunity from the owlbear. But then, like, your horse couldn't move its full speed, or you couldn't take your action.
Yeah. I'll take the attack of opportunity and just click the horse and take a dash.
Okay. Your AC is 21?
Yeah.
You take 8 more damage. Are you, like, attacking with anything before you run away, or no?
As I kind of turn around to, like, face backwards on the horse and just cast Guiding Bolt.
Okay. Guiding Bolt, a spell attack or a save?
It's a ranged spell attack. 18.
18 hits.
4d6 radiant damage. $13 damage.
13 damage? Okay. So the horse or the bear pecks at you as you're like leaving, claws at you as you're leaving. As you turn around, and out of your hammer, you cast this red swirling, like, it starts as energy and like forms into like a form of a sword and like punctures into the bear's neck. It like staggers it a little bit, and I assume you want your horse to dash away.
Yep.
Okay. That's not. The brown bears are both gonna attack Artisan, but they don't fucking hit on an 8. They don't. Actually, they do hit on a 15. Nine, 13 damage to him. Ooh, that's not good. Miss. One of the bears trips and falls over itself. The second brown bear trips and falls over itself and is like rolling on his back. But Artisan did take a good chunk of hit. He's going to take the disengage action himself. And then his horse is going to dash away. He also seems to empower his spear as he seems to run away. Like, you can see he's like seems to be like saying a prayer over his spear and channeling something over. And that brings us back to Demetrius.
All right, I am going to take another attack at Owlbear 2, this time with Firebolt.
Is that a spell attack?
Yes, it is.
You make it with advantage. So
21.
21.
Nice.
Yeah, so Jax blasts this like spear of red energy into the owlbear that was attacking him, and you turn around out of your like staff and just throw off this blast of fire towards it. Go ahead and roll the damage for that.
8.
8. So you blast into it, and it's like it's still staggered by like the whole thing that's happened. It's not doing great. This first owlbear actually just has to dash to catch up with Artisan. Second owlbear is going to dash after Jax. And they keep pace with you. They're fucking fast fuckers. But that brings us to Talia. As I assume the horse has moved another 80 feet on your turn, Demetrius.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so we are now 160 feet away.
Yeah. So you're 80 feet ahead of where the bears are now, or the owl bears are now. You've moved 160 feet from fully where you started. Talia, it's your go.
Wait. Okay, so but we're still only 80 feet away from the bears because they moved too.
Yes.
Okay. Are other if I were to cast Entangle to try and slow them down, I'm trying to figure out where they all are now. Like if they're still kind of in that formation, still they're just moving up a little bit more.
The two owl bears have kept pace with Jax and Artisan, who are a little behind you. What's the range on Entangle?
90 feet.
90 feet. So because of that, and just kind of your keen eye and like druidic senses, like you're all your time hunting and like measuring distance, like knowing where to hit your arrow, you could place the Entangle on the other side of, like just behind the other side of Jax and Artisan's horses, to catch the two owlbears that are chasing them without affecting Jax and Artisan.
Yes, so that's because it's a 20-foot square as well for the area of the plants. So
yeah, so you could hit both of them.
It just behind them.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm gonna cast Entangle just behind them. So they need to beat a DC 10. Is that what that says? My strength. Wait, hold on. Yeah. Creature must succeed on a strength saving throw or be restrained by the entangled plants. Creature restrained by the plants can then use its action to make a strength check against your spell save DC. So is that the same thing? Is the DC the same for both of those?
Yeah, your DC is 10. Yeah, so their DC to get restrained is 10. And if they get restrained, they can break out on 10. One of them actually fails, but the other one is a fucking bear and just plows through it.
Okay, well, at least it's one.
Yeah. And it makes it difficult terrain regardless of if they succeed or not?
Yes. It's still difficult terrain regardless for both of them, but only one's going to be entangled by the plants.
So you see, like, as you summon these like vines and roots on the other side, like just behind Jax and Artisan's horses, they're sprinting away. One vine catches a bear that's going for, like, to swipe at Jax, and it gets tripped up over a vine and is like tied down, like growling. That's what an owlbear sounds like, trust me. The other one is like slowed down and like gets kind of like caught off guard by this, but seems to keep trudging along. Any bonus actions or anything?
Um,
Object interaction you would like to do?
don't think so. Um, object interaction. Oh, wait. Hold on. Where is it? Do I still have it? I do. Ha. It's the staff. What do you think the staff? Do you think the snake will scare them? But if they're really that big, I don't think the snake's gonna be able to do much to them.
I mean,
And it's so I can throw it out, and it will. Becomes a constrictor. On my turn, I can mentally command the snake. If it's within 60 feet of you and I'm not incapacitated, I tell the snake what to do, and as long as it doesn't die, I can call it. I can recall it before all its hit points are gone. I can recall it, and it turns back into a staff. But if it goes down to 0 hit points, then I lose it. It destroys itself.
I'll just be realistic with you. There's, from where you are and like the fact you guys are running, having it be within 60 feet of you is probably not going to happen.
Ideal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Okay.
the only way for you to would be you'd have to like get really close personally, have it turn into a snake, try to scare the bears, and
Not get hit in the process. Yeah.
yeah. So I,
Okay. So no. Yeah. I'm not gonna do that. So I'm just gonna leave it. I'm still good farther away. And casting is the same thing, right? Like I can't use a weapon. So there's nothing else for me to do.
cool. That brings us to Jax. Because the bear chasing you actually got tripped up and restrained, moving won't trigger any sort of opportunity attacks from you. You could still
Okay.
you could still take your hit and have your horse dash if you would like.
I'm gonna have the horse dash, but then as like as I see this, I'm gonna like slam my warhammer into my shield and cast Toll of the Dead
Okay.
on it. So Wisdom DC 12.
It is restrained and seems pissed off at you. It is not moving, and its eyes are dead set on you. It does not seem to be anything.
So does it pass?
It
the
passes,
wisdom?
yeah.
Okay. Does it still take half damage? I don't think so. Nope, it doesn't.
Yeah, it crit on its fucking wisdom save. It's not scared of your
Damn.
little. It's not scared of your little bell.
And then I don't have the horse dash.
Okay, so your horse dashes. The brown bears have fallen behind. The one chases, but runs into the patch of shit Talia summoned and gets slowed. The other one has to take half its movement to get up as it tripped over itself, jumping out of the bushes, and gets it. Artisan is going to give me a good hit, baby. Artisan, he's a little, because of your difficult terrain, you put him out of opportunity attack range from the bear, but he has this like big spear and he buries it into the head of the first bear that is not restrained. You see like this burst of, where the fuck's my D8? Like fiery black and fiery energy come out of his spear as he does it. And he blasts into this fucking bear for a shit ton of damage. With his first attack, it takes his second attack with his spear. Once again. Nice. For 4, 13. Artisan just like absolutely fucks this thing up with 2 hits as this like blast of like fiery energy comes out of him, and as he stabs into one shoulder, pulls his spear out, stabs into the other shoulder, and then his horse dashes up to keep pace with the rest of you. Demetrius, that's your go.
So how far away are we from these things now?
You are 80 feet away still right now on your turn.
Okay. Going to slow the horses
Okay.
so that I don't keep getting like way far away from them.
All right.
And I'm gonna go for another firebolt at Owlbear 2. 15.
You hit.
Ten damage.
Nice.
So you blast more fire into this thing as it's like tied up. The one bear is just it, like steps out and like is trying to keep pace with the rest of you guys, but it's falling behind. This bear takes rips out of the vines tangling it, and then rushes behind Jax and further behind the other bear, but still trying to keep pace with you. They don't seem to be relenting. Go ahead and everybody can go ahead and make an insight check if they want.
Natty 20.
22.
So you guys can tell with these things, if these were like normal animals out here, they would have fucked off when they started getting hurt. These things are chasing you specifically. And Talia, that's your go.
All right. Yeah, they're definitely after us. I'm going to... Let's see, what's my...
Before you go, Demetrius, how did the horses move at all? Did they just take a normal movement, 40 feet? Or did you stop them completely?
Yeah, they just took a normal 40 feet.
Okay. All right. So you are like, Talia, you're about 65 feet from one of the bears, and another, you're like 85 feet from another one.
So I'm going to shoot arrows for now, because I don't want to use a spell unless they get too close. 18 plus 4, 22.
Which one are you going for?
Is the one that's closer to me.
Okay, so that's number one. So 22 hits, obviously.
Okay. Seven plus 10, so 9 damage on that one.
9 damage. This thing is looking fucked up. The first one especially is the one that's closer to you. Jax, you're about, what's it, 25, or no. You're about 45 feet from the one bear that was chasing you. And then the other one is, it's another like 25 feet diagonally on the other side, chasing after Artisan.
Okay. Oh my god, what do I want to do? So I'm gonna have. How far am I away from the other people? The cart.
They are 40 feet ahead of you.
Okay. I'll have the horse. I'll make my attack first. I'll just cast Sacred Flame.
Okay.
Dex saving throw of 12.
Fails.
Takes 1d8 radiant damage.
Which one are you going at? The one chasing you or the one chasing Artisan?
One chasing me.
Okay.
Well, the one chasing me is pretty far behind me, though, right?
45 feet.
Yeah, so I'll do the one Artisan. How far is the one from Artisan?
It's like 25 feet from you.
Okay, this is 60 feet. I'm just making sure it would reach.
Yeah.
So I'll do that one.
Okay, go ahead and roll your damage.
6 damage.
6 damage. As you set this fire, like this, because I guess how do you cast the spell? Tell me what you do.
So I'm gonna picture like Thor with his hammer and striking down lightning. I'm pretty much gonna do that, but instead of lightning, it's just fire and it's radiant.
So from the top of Mount Olympus, you're hammer is like channeling this fire, and you just like slam your hammer towards the bear, and this fire burns the bear to a fucking crisp, and like this holy kind of red, like the fire is a deep red, which is like, you know, color of Ares, and the bear is just like howls out in pain and then falls to the ground dead. But you still got the one chasing you. I'll be honest, the 2 brown bears have kind of just fucked off. They are way out of this by now.
And then I'll move up to the cart for the rest of my turn.
All right, gotcha. Artisan, seeing you, go ahead and cast some shit to save him. He is going to same thing, kind of like power up his spear again, head over to the other bear, and swing as he's like he's kind of like running away, swinging kind of wildly, and actually misses the bear, but still has a spear seemingly charged up. Demetrius, that's you, man.
Let's see. I'm gonna have to go with this again.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Right, exactly. Firebolt at Owlbear 2 again.
Okay.
8.
Maybe it is broke. All right. So you kind of cast fire, but you're like, you know, you're driving the horses, then like taking careful note, try and cast a spell around Artisan, who's like tangled up with it. What do your horses do on the turn?
Now I'm gonna full stop the wagon because we're way ahead of these guys.
Okay, you full stop the wagon. This bear is going to fucking swing at our boy here. Is going to hit actually on his first attack. Ooh, nice chunk of damage there. As this thing pecks into Artisan, out of Artisan, flame just fucking bursts out. Which, Jax, you don't even need to make a roll. You know for sure that this has never happened before, and any time he's been fighting. As this bear pecks into him and just like gets blasted back with fire. Then it's gonna go ahead and make the second attack. It's actually gonna hit again. Good job, Owlbear. Where are my D8? Right there. That wasn't good damage. 3, 8. Okay. That brings us to Talia. Daisy?
Sorry. Yeah, I'm here. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Let's see. So, how far away is 2 from me now? I'm trying to...
Because Demetrius stopped the carts, it's only like 40 feet from you.
Okay, perfect. So I'm going to... You know what? Screw it. I'm just gonna take another shot. I don't want to waste a spell. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. And it's a 6.
You're just like Demetrius trying to avoid Artisan who's tangled up with this bear. You loose an arrow, but it's you're being careful not to hit your teammates there, which is very good. Jax, this same thing. This is about 40 feet from you, where you are now, but your horse has 40 feet of movement. What you doing?
Just gonna slam my shield with my hammer and cast Toll of the Dead again.
Wisdom save.
12.
Fails.
A 1d12 necrotic damage. Let's go. 8.
8. This thing is still like fighting hard. Looks almost possessed or something. And Talia, you've seen bears like this before. You've never seen it act like this. Boy here. Oh, it's gonna fuck this thing up.
This is not normal. I don't know what's happening. We should have scared them off by now. Or should have scared him off by now, especially now that his other one is dead. Why? It's like he can't stop.
Artisan buries his fucking spear into the head of this thing, and takes it down as it falls in the middle of the ground. Seemingly dead. It's like, turns to Talia as you're saying that, says, well, it's fucking stopped now. And he's breathing heavily. Clawed up and bloody at this point. As you guys, the brown bears, seemingly less possessed than these other guys, have totally fucked off, like I said. And you guys are out of combat, relatively unscathed, actually. Good job.
I'm gonna ride over to Artisan and just cast Cure Wounds.
He accepts, but he does not thank you.
Don't expect much, thank you. But we kind of need him to see the king, so just in case. Oops. That's a d20, not a d8. 7 plus my spellcasting ability modifier, I think, which is my wisdom.
Should be as cleric, yeah.
Yes. He heals 9 damage.
9 damage, okay. Alright. So yeah, you guys are out of combat, and move. Artisan, like, kind of just sheaths his shield and spear again and just begins to ride off.
And kind of click my horse and start going off too.
I guess I grab the reins and whip them and follow Artisan and Jax.
Talia and Demetrius, you guys were like the last ones leaving the scene. Owl's still there.
I don't like that this is still happening. It's and then we run into owl bears. I mean, I'm kind of just like looking at him and looking up at the owl.
Is there any kind of check either one of you would like to make to?
I make let's see. I'll make an insight check. So 9 plus 5, so 14.
14. I mean, you know, owls are associated with a couple gods. You also know that magical shit is hunting you now, probably after whatever you guys got into some fucking trouble with. You don't know if maybe this... you know this is not... Based off what you saw with the owl bears is acting almost possessed and this owl following you, somebody is not happy with you guys. Or somebody in your party. You guys don't know if it's you specifically. Yeah.
Okay.
Without a religion check, I could not tell you what god the owl is association with.
I guess I can.
I'll do a religion check. Check.
Okay.
18.
You know, the owl is most associated with Athena. And I mean, wisdom, knowledge, you know, Athena is the patron saint of Athens, or patron goddess of Athens, kind of the biggest deal around these parts, specifically with like soldiers in the armies and stuff, as well as the leaders, and yeah, owl is her main symbol. But you guys kind of ride off as it still continues to follow you.
I'm just kind of looking at it while we're slowly moving away in the cart.
Cool. Day goes on, passes relatively uneventful after that. once again, night begins to fall. It'll take you another day, or like 3/4 of a day to get to Athens, even on horseback. So you guys are going to need to risk exhaustion or camp for the night. What do you guys want to do?
We should probably camp and
Yeah.
make sure that we're good. Refill any supplies. Make sure that we're rested. In
Well,
case
especially
happens again.
the people that took damage.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
And our horses shouldn't be overexhausted either.
Yeah, so you guys pull off the main road, find a little clearing in the forest. Just make a quick group survival check.
19.
14.
One.
Well, you're doing this as a group, and luckily Artisan got an 18. So half of you guys, over half of the group passes, which is good. You guys set up a pretty, standard camp. Talia, you've been on the road for a while, but you see Artisan just kind of very quickly, with like efficiency of a general and like the workhorseness of seasoned soldier, has his like campground fire running in like what seems to be seconds. It's impressive as hell. And you guys set up like a relatively decent camp. Like there's gonna be wild animals about, but most of the time animals, like I said earlier, give you guys a berth, especially if you have fire and stuff. The bear attack earlier seemed to be odd, and not normal. And Talia, you've traversed the countryside plenty of times and rarely been attacked by animals, so that's not something that you expect to happen.
No.
And you guys are kind of gathering around the fire, cooking up just some food or something. As eventually, a bolt of blue streaks across the sky. You guys all see it. It's like this huge whistling sound, as it comes down and actually lands in the middle of the campfire, crashing, putting it out, knocking fire everywhere. As this bolt of blue plants in the middle of the campground, and as like this debris and stuff all kind of clears, you guys see it is like the shape of a spear but glowing blue.
Okay.
I haven't seen that one before.
I mean, I'll make an investigation check.
Okay, go ahead and roll.
Actually, no, I'll do a religion check.
Okay. How are you doing this religion check? What are you like doing specifically?
I'm just gonna ask Ares, like, yo, what the fuck?
Okay, roll your religion check.
15 plus 5, so dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Ares doesn't appear next to you, but he's like, hey, some shit's going on up here. I don't got a lot of time. What's up?
Are you guys fighting or something? Because, like, I want to say one of your spears, not yours, but a spear just landed in front of us.
He kind of like, you kind of hear, almost like he shifts like a microphone away from himself. And you hear you hear multiple voices shouting. You hear one booming, deep voice shouting something. You can't quite make it out. And then you hear multiple, like, higher pitched, one especially feminine voice shouting. He's like, yeah, shit's going on up here, man. What's up? There's a spear hit the ground. I don't know. They don't fucking tell me shit unless I need to know. I'm not the planner and schemer. I'm the knock heads off when heads need to be knocked off.
No, I know, and I love you for that, but, like, I was just asking if you guys were fighting up there, and it kind of sounds like you are. I have no idea.
Yeah, man. When I know more, I'll let you know, but I don't know anything right now.
Okay, cool.
I'm like kind of looking at Demetrius like, who's he talking to?
Demetrius just still staring at the spear, just shrugs his shoulders and, oh no.
And the rest of you
anything
see
anymore.
Artisan is like, he like didn't flinch when it landed, and he's just staring at the spear.
What do
I'm
we
gonna-
do?
I'm gonna walk up to it.
Okay.
That's not a good idea.
You walk up to the spear.
You should always observe from afar first.
You reach out to touch it, like investigate it, and as you reach out to touch it, the structure of the spear crumbles to ash, and for a second is just blending in with like the ashes of the ground on the fire, or from the fire and like the dirt and stuff. And as you guys all kind of sit around confused, it lights into blue flame that spells out on the ground, "You will not betray me so lightly." And that's where we'll end our session.
Yeah. Nice.
Okay, that was night 3 of the epic. This is Idiots Rolling Dice. We're fucking back, baby. Yeah, so I am Imp Theater. I'm the Dungeon Master. I'm joined by Miss Daisy Cakes, who plays Talia, Mr. Play the Fool, who played Demetrius Longwing, and Mr. Vex, who plays fucking Jax Karn. I said his name 400 times tonight. So thank you for waiting patiently with us. We're glad to be back and ready to get going again. This stuff's about to pop off. It kind of popped off last week, or last session, but shit's popping off more now. I hope you guys are enjoying, and I hope you guys stick around and tell your friends about all this stuff with the show, the YouTube channel, and the podcast feed, as well as the live streams, as I think there's some fun. I know we all certainly have a lot of fun doing this. So I am going to be done. New episodes of the video and podcast will now be out on Fridays instead of Wednesdays. Trying to give myself more time to do a better job with them and just like put a little more work into them as going forward. And yeah, follow us on Instagram at Idiots Rolling Dice. Follow us on Twitter at erdpod, IRDPOD. You can tweet about the show using hashtag erdpod. You can also follow us on TikTok, same hashtag erdpod, as I'll be getting more content together to post there. But I was on vacation and I took time off. You can follow, links are in the description for those of us who stream Twitch channels. Daisy streams a whole bunch, Play streams a whole bunch. I don't stream much anymore, but I do stream the D&D sessions live. Yeah, I think that's about it. We love you. Hope you guys all are safe and having fun. And adios.